Hi, NAATCO friends.
Hello, sweet NAATCO.
One thing that changed for the better during the pandemic in my life was that I began to take a lot of long outdoor hikes every day. A lot of them here in Griffith Park in Los Angeles, where I am now. And now this has become a key and treasured part of my life, for which I'm very grateful.
What have I learned during this time?
I live alone, and the pandemic allowed me enough alone time to look back over my life, see the mistakes, the missteps that I'd taken, and some of the guilt that I felt about that.
I've learned what I really value.
And I was able to understand myself, the reasons, and best of all, to forgive myself.
I learned to love my wife in a deeper way. I learned to slow down in a meaningful way. I learned to take baths. I was always too impatient to take baths.
I've become keenly aware of how my behavior can affect the entire planet and how I need to do better.
It was only 2 or 3 months into the lockdown that I realized my spiritual life, my active prayer, my meditation, my practice of contemplation was no longer separate from my everyday life. These things used to be remedies or escapes or ways to cope with the difficulties and obligations of my life and my craft.
Well, I never thought I was a cat person. And guess what?
Somewhere along the lines, through reflection, through the period of reflection that the pandemic gave me, I realized that somehow art and faith had become one. And since then, everything has sort of turned into a prayer of celebration, of gratitude, of enhanced creativity. A more spiritual kind of expression has emerged from this.
I've been an actor most of my life and also an introvert. So during the pandemic, I got to do a lot more voiceovers from my booth and a lot more writing. So I flourished during the pandemic, and I'm really grateful. And I've helped a lot of people build their home studios, and they're also doing voiceovers, so they were able to sustain over 2 years.
I think that one thing I can say that's changed for the better is just developing a deeper sense of gratitude for all the things that I have, my family, my friends, the fact that we have a safe home to live in, the fact that we're not food insecure. And I've become more aware of just the little moments of kindness that I experience when I go out in the world, and I'm so grateful for that.
We are getting older, and we have to be more self-aware of our self-care and preservation as individuals, as artists, as hyphenate Asian Americans.
Also becoming more aware of the state of mind that I'm in when I go out into the world, and just being more mindful of not wanting to contribute to the fear and the anger that's out there right now. And
we need to be kind to each other and take care of each other because no one else is going to do that for us.
Just being love to the best of my ability. So that's all definitely been amplified during this
pandemic, pause, reflection. I wouldn't trade that for the world.